Good.
Okay. I'm Grayson, and this is the round 2 confessional. So the game has kind of taken a little bit of a dive a little bit in terms of the interactions and the sociology. It's not as crazy as it was the first week, but I think that's intentional because I think people want to lay low. They kind of just want to seep in and they kind of just want to skate on by, so they don't cause too many tidal waves. At least on my team. And I will say I've been kind of pulling that strategy too, not being as out there. But I think if too many people do it, the strategy, ironically, becomes null and void because and you end up becoming a big target because you're so small. So and there is a little bit of reverse psychology there. But yes, these people they're great people. They're fun. They're interesting to talk to. I love this cast. Game wise, I'm tight with Corey and I'm tight with Luke. Like those two are my number ones. But if I had to choose, Luke, I made the alliance first with him before Corey, so I have to honor that with Luke. And I feel like if we ride this out, unless he does me dirty, I'm gonna stick it out with him too. So that's where my standing is right now. I'm loyal to those guys. And of course, Ryan's with us for the four-person alliance just to keep it kind of stronger, and so we can get through more eliminations. So, and because we're each split up, two on one team and two on the other, I think it makes it for a more intriguing game, and I think it's beneficial for us because we can each analyze. Uh, we can each of us can analyze the other team and then relay information back. Haven't been able to get much information, especially last round when I was trying to. People are most people are more so afraid to talk about game, and they're again everyone's playing roughly the same game. We talk to each other. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? How's your dog? How's school going? How's the quarantine? That's definitely gonna make this confessional dated, but anyway. And so it's interesting because these people are kind of they're all doing the same thing, and so they're not trying to give away too much information. They want to give a little but get a lot in return. But it's not going to work like that. You have to give big to receive big. So I don't know how that's going to play out. I think once more decisions are made in the game later down the road, more eliminations, more challenge wins, more turmoil starts happening. That's when the game's really going to pick up. Um, in terms of Gabe leaving last week, no skin off my bones. He instantly made himself a target by trying to dictate people into, suggesting, hey, let's vote Kayla out. I don't know the exact story. It could be a whole facade. I could be getting played just, because Stevie told me that Gabe was kind of the driving force. Now, with Stevie and Jordan, they're on the same team, and they're going to elimination. We just won this last challenge. Corey and I are safe from elimination. We're good. Now, I am afraid for Ryan and Luke, more so for Luke because he's my final two. I don't want to see the guy get eliminated. Um, but if he does, it's gonna suck. But I gotta move forward and move on. And I think I would move on with Corey because I trust her just as much as I trust Luke. Now, I do have a power, and that's the party crasher power. So, and I'm trying to hold off from using it. I don't want to use my powers too early in the game if I start attaining them because it makes me a big target and I lose insurance for later down the road. This provides more insurance for me to make the bigger moves I need to in order to advance myself further in the game. So now, when it comes to other relationships, I feel I don't want to call these people fake. They're all genuine. We're all good people. We just want to have fun here. But in terms of the game, I probably feel the most fakery from Stevie. Personally, the guy's awesome. But when it comes to game, I feel like he's being a little too nice. And he could just genuinely be nice. Like he could just be like he could just be, saying, "How are you doing?" Shake hands and such. And the guy's probably a sweetheart, and he probably doesn't mean any intentions by it. But just like how Sarah in Survivor Winners at War in the previous episode, just like how she got kind of, cornered for giving her reward up to Nick genuinely, everyone thought it was for Gabe. And so I feel like maybe that's where Stevie is right now because he's so nice. People are kind of getting suspicious of him. And I'm kind of in that boat too. And that Corey is as well. Uh, so, but no, I think I have good reason to feel that way though, because Stevie and Jordan, I heard, were the ones who were orchestrating to get Gabe out. And because Stevie and Jordan, I feel like, had immunity last week, they felt strong and they felt like they could do anything. So the fact that Stevie's playing this game more so than what he's letting on, and the information I was able to get out of him in our previous one-on-one call right before the elimination of Gabe, it appeared he didn't know much. But because I knew more information from my other Alliance members, I think he's playing more dangerously than he's even letting on. So I think Stevie is a dangerous threat. Probably have to watch out for him. Same with Jordan. Those are probably my two biggest threats, just because they were the party crashers and they are at the forefront of everyone's thoughts. And it just seems like Jordan knows how to be social. He's very good with people. It seems like I don't know how he's doing on the other team, but just by first impressions and just watching him play the game. So now, being safe from elimination, it's awesome. I don't have to worry about much, but at the same time, it's kind of like also playing devil's advocate here. Not playing the game as much, not really getting much intel, not worrying about elimination. You kind of are absent from the game more so than the team going to elimination. So you're not able to kind of refresh yourself as quickly as the other people are. And I think after this elimination, I'm probably going to ramp up socialization more. And I'm going to try to probably, get in a few more people's DMs and try to message them. But right now it's just kind of like lay low for a little bit. Now, unless I'm called to war, if I'm attacked and like I'm on the defensive here, I'm going to fight for myself and I'll stand up and I'll play the game. I just think right now the best long-term standings for me are to kind of lay low. But I feel like everyone's doing that, so it's definitely crazy. I sucked at the previous challenge. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it was just, me standing at the back of the post of my closet door and trying to like get those cups, and they started going everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, oh gosh. But I got one, so at least I can say that. But then when I saw the results for the competition, Matthew had said, okay, so Bora Bora was were the last team to complete the challenge. And I'm thinking, wait, he said I was the last person to do the challenge. And Bora Bora? And so I was thinking, wait, did I get the teams mixed up? Did I get the names jumbled up? And then Bora Bora wins, and I'm like, wait, I guess they win. It's just kind of like you don't really argue with the results because mistakes happen. But then someone said Matthew Papa pulled the Steve Harvey, and we ended up winning. It was like a good fake out. And I was just like, if we went to elimination, it is what it is. You can't complain, and you can't lose your temper, and you can't get upset about it. It's the game, and you got to play the game, whether you get eliminated or not. But it was icing on the cake to not have to go to elimination. And I like to think my 1 point salvaged our victory, but at least more people, I'd rather people be successful than fail. But in terms of just the challenge alone, at least I wasn't alone in sucking at the challenge. Like, we were all in this together. So, yes. And right now, those are my thoughts. If there are any more questions, I'll be happy to answer.
All right, Greyson, I have a couple questions for you. I think you kind of covered. I'm not sure who went over your last confessional, but we do ask a lot, like pretty much round to round, so you can like look back and see where your head was at and how you progressed. Who you trust the most and who you trust the least. I think you kind of touched on that. I have a specific game question, and I'm going to take you back to the last vote. You mentioned that you're aligned with Luke at this point. He did receive one vote. Do you have any idea, or do you have any theories of, who did it, why would they do it, or anything like that?
I do actually, and actually, our team discussed it in terms of me, Corey, Luke, and Ryan. We all four discussed it, and even before Luke said it, I was thinking it's probably Jordan. But at the same time, I got to be more introspective here. I could be thinking Jordan because Jordan's at the forefront of my thoughts right now, along with Stevie. But like Jordan just seems like the type of guy. And in these types of games, you usually get the people who stand back, who just kind of want to go with the flow, and then you get the forefront people who try to shake things up. You know, I have sometimes been the Jordan where, or just, I don't even know if it's Jordan. I'm assuming. See, that's how much I need to be aware of my own psychology here. But thinking back to how I would play games sometimes, I'd be the person who want to shake things up and be kooky and fun and crazy and kind of just play the game for the fun sake of it. And Jordan seems like that guy, and I do think he is that person. At the same time, from what I've heard, he helped orchestrate Gabe's elimination. So while there wasn't much to go off of in terms of pulling strings to get him out, I just feel like it was, and I think he did it to cause controversy, and to cause distrust, because he may be onto the fact that the low-profile players are somewhat banding together, but so he kind of want to try to cause distrust among that. Now, when it comes to the move itself, I see where he's coming from, or I see where the person, what the person was trying to accomplish. Now, again, I could just be assuming it, but I believe that is the theory. That's my theory, at least, on why it kind of went out the way it did. And, before I was thinking Jordan, and then Luke says, yep, I think it's Jordan. Now, Luke could just be telling me that to try to make me, less suspicious, and try to make me feel comfortable. He could actually think it's me, which I hope he doesn't. But I think Luke thinks it's Jordan as well. So it's someone trying to play hard and cause some controversy and drama, and I guess somewhat get a strategic, trying to benefit strategically from this decision. So, and as soon as I saw Luke's name, I thought, could it be Luke? Like, could Luke be going home, or this maybe just be a one vote thing? And I was a little irritated because I'm like, more work has to go now, because they could think it's me. And I hope like my homework is good enough to where they don't suspect me, at least as much.
All right, so I have a question. I know that you're not going to tonight's elimination because obviously you guys are safe. You won the challenge. Do you have any idea what's going on with the vote, or who might be getting targeted or whatnot? If you could touch on what you know about what's going on that side, if anything.
Okay. I don't know much about that side. I haven't really been getting much information. I haven't really been sliding to people's DMs. I'm kind of playing that low profile strategy, but if I had to guess, I think Luke and Ryan, I think they have enough connections and ties with Jordan and somewhat Stevie to try to kind of get in good graces with them. In terms of who's leaving, I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I think Stevie, Jordan, and Kayla are all in an alliance. I think that's pretty obvious. And one or two things are going to happen tonight, I feel. Either Ryan is going to join forces with them, and they're going to get Luke out. Because Luke is such a big personality. The guy is very confident, and he's just awesome at what he does. So, and they could be threatened by that. So they could, hey, let's get a big fish out, right? Let's get a shark out as opposed to a tadpole. So either I feel like that's going to happen, and I'm just thinking the worst. I hope it doesn't happen, but it's like you got to expect anything at this point, right? Or I think Luke and Ryan are going to get in good enough graces with them to target someone who's kind of lower on the totem pole, who's kind of like Gabe, a lower profile player, and they're probably trying to fish out names. Kind of like I feel like what Michael was doing to me when I was on a team with him last round. So no, I think really if I had to pick which of the two is going to happen, I'm kind of 60-40. I'm 60% sure that Luke and Ryan are safe tonight, and that they're going to pair up or they're going to join forces with that trio, and they're going to go for someone who's not really a staple in the game right now. And I feel like I could have been on that receiving end if I were on that team, if I didn't have an alliance with Luke. But even if I do have an alliance with Luke, the guy could be plotting against me regardless. And if he is, props to him. He's playing a damn good game. So I feel like either one of those two things are going to happen tonight.
If you had the sole vote to evict anybody that's vulnerable on that side, who would it be and why?
Okay. I'm kind of second guessing myself here because my initial thought is Jordan, right? Go for Jordan. But at the same time, he's a shield. And not only is he a shield, but like he's a good game player. And why wouldn't I want to have a good game player on my side, right? If I make good with him, keep your enemies closer, right? Well, if I don't, like, I want to make good with him. But at the same time, if I'm really going to think about this, if I could pick it, I go for Jordan. I really would. That'd probably make me the most hated person in this game. And strategically, that probably wouldn't be best. Now you're making me second guess myself. See, I'm afraid to go for Jordan just for those very reasons. Because house-wise and public-wise, that I'm going to be viewed as someone who's Greyson's a no-no. So I guess I go for someone more like, dang, you're really making me think about this. I go for Michael. Because it just seems like the guy is playing a low-profile game, trying to get information, get intel from other people, without giving much, like I mentioned earlier. So I guess my definitive answer, if I could vote someone out, would be Michael. Just because I think it would ruffle the least amount of feathers. And if I had to vote out someone, I'd have to. It's not that I would choose to. It's the fact that I have to. And he just seems like the casualty that will cost the least amount of tidal waves.
And now I have a question regarding you kind of are able to see the format of the game, how a party planner becomes in power, they're immune, and then they select teams, right?
Yes.
Is that something that I believe you went for the last party planner, right?
I did.
So is that something that you're going to be doing consistently, going for that party planner role? And if yes, why? If no, why? And if yes, if you could just tell me, what your plan for splitting up the teams would be and the strategy behind it.
Yes. So last round, I was talking heavily with Corey and Luke about this interesting strategy. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first one to come up with it. It's just I think it's instinctual when you play a game like this with the format of Ascendance. At first, before I wanted to win the challenge, the second party planner challenge, because especially when I learned that there was only going to be one winner, because obviously this was a filmmaking challenge, and I kind of put myself in a corner when it comes to those types of challenges. And if I didn't compete, it'd be a slap in the face, and I think it would put me kind of in a corner. It would show people that this guy knows he can win this challenge. He's not participating. It just seems like he's throwing it. And that's not a good reputation to have. So I felt like I was obligated to go for it. And I think it's even better that I went for it because only 5 people went for it. So it shows that I'm active, I'm willing to play. And just because I'm sometimes not social, it doesn't mean that I'm out of this game. I still want people to come to me and talk to me. I'm trying to find a good balance here. So, and because of that, I would not win every single party planner challenge. I would win it based on circumstances. I definitely do not want my back up against a wall to where I have to win constantly. That is a possibility, and I do have to weigh those options. So I wouldn't rule out party planner challenges just yet, or at all, ever. Because it does help with your objective. But right now with my status, I don't want to win because I will be honest. I thought that if I won, I was gonna be able to pick the teams, pick one team with me, and I was gonna be on that team, voting with that team, kind of like how what Jordan and Stevie did. But once I learned what Scott's stipulations were, I'm glad I didn't win it because I would not be able to compete, and I wouldn't be able to be involved with my alliance. I am for my alliance. I'm going to help my alliance. And the fact that it would have kind of taken me off the playing board for the round, I wouldn't be able to kind of, step in and help them. I initially thought that Scott had paired Luke, Corey, and I together, or put us all together on the team. I kind of misread there, but no. Overall, I'm going on and on. I'm going to try not to win them as much unless the circumstances require me to. Like if it's good for me strategically, and if it shows I'm not throwing comps, it shows that I'm willing to kind of put my life on the line and I'm willing to put my resume on the line. I'm going to play the game, but I don't want to win too much. But I want to win them at critical points. Now there is a jury at the end, so you definitely have to be aware of that. I just think right now it's a little too early. This competition was an exception because my alliance, they saw me as the filmmaker and I had to step up for them. I had to do it. So that was a little bit of a different circumstance, but for the most part I wouldn't. So yeah.
All right, Grayson, that's all the questions that I have for you at the moment. If you have anything else you want to add to the end of this recording, you can. If not, I could stop it for you.
Okay. Well, I'll end it with something. So far, I'm loving the game. The game's fun. It's crazy. I love learning new formats. It's refreshing to play in something where you can kind of devise and come up with new strategies and ways to maneuver around the game. And these people are awesome. They're cool to get along with. And they're not bad either. It's like in terms of game, yes, they're my competition, but they're cool people. Personally, nonetheless, even game wise. So, but that's all I have to say for now.
All right, Grayson, I'll stop the recording here.